Which I think is what happened yesterday, frankly.
Yeah, and it's the enemy of debate, and it's the enemy of free speech.
But this then comes back to the debate itself, then, because I mean I completely agree with you, obviously, on the rules that we play the game by, and this is one of the things that I'm so angry at the left about, is that they broke those rules first, and now the MAGA side has caught up to them in the rule breaking scheme, and it's like, oh god, this is where it starts going off the rails, right?
Yeah.
And so it seems to me that, okay, so we want to get back to a position where we are in the center and we can, have some common overlap with the things that we believe. Because at the moment, the two narratives have diverged so completely that they don't recognize each other. And so if you want to bring them back, you've like on the left wing narrative, you could say, right, police are heavy handed towards black communities. They are treated as if they're a hostile threat and things like this. And I think there are lots of Republicans who probably could accept the truth of that, right? And I think there are a lot of people on the left who are saying things like that, and there is an underlying thread of truth to that. And you get the narratives that build up around the narrative that blow it out of proportion. But there's definitely something there. Otherwise, people wouldn't be saying it, right? So if I'm representing the sort of MAGA side in this conversation, and you guys are representing the left side in this conversation, then that's something I can say, right, you're claiming this, and I can take ownership of some of this. I can recognize but the MAGA folks are saying, well, okay, now let's point to this constitutional breach and the fact that nobody cares. What's the left going to do about this? And it seemed the left was just like, we're going to do nothing. Screw you, and that seems to me to be the antithesis of getting everyone back onto the same pitch, playing the same game. And I don't really see what else can be done, And so I'm just kind of...
The problem is with the left, and I'll make this point, and then Constantine, you can jump in.
I don't have anything to say. I was going to say I don't know what to say.
Is that the left are obsessed with purity.
Yes.
They are. Even if you're on the left, you can never be left enough for the left. I'm an example of that, where people go, yeah, but you're not really on the left. I'm like, well, I worked for 12 years as a primary school teacher in deprived communities. How can I not be more left? But
you're not a communist.
Yeah, exactly. But that is how it works within the left. They're obsessed with purity. They're obsessed with being on the right side of history. They're obsessed with being right. And it doesn't matter if someone puts forward an argument that has merit and has validity to it. They can't see to be agreeing with that particular person, because then they're agreeing with a fascist or somebody on the right, which means you're not truly of the left, which means inevitably, after a while, if you carry on with this particular behavior, you will be expelled from your own side. And that is a problem with the left. They are obsessed with purity. You talk to somebody who identifies as being left-wing, and you talk to them and say, oh, I was talking to this person, or I really like this person on the left's views. You will always hear the same thing. Oh, but they're not really left. They're a centrist.
Well, I'll give you an example of this. We have a friend of, we have a friend of ours, another fellow comedian who's a black guy from Barbados, and he gets called racist by other comedians because he's friends with us.
You guys are not very controversial, in my opinion.
No, we're not very controversial, but we do have the power to make a black man racist.
That's the power we have, Carl.
That's how powerful we are. But actually, I said I had nothing to say, but it made me think about, what is some of the answers to this. And actually, not to blow anything up our own backsides, but actually, I think the conversation we're having now is part of the way you do this.
Yeah.
We clearly, there's disagreement. And I imagine your chat is popping off like crazy right now.
I can't see it, so I imagine they are too. Probably at me for not prosecuting the case hard enough or something.
Or at us for prosecuting the opposite case. But actually, we're still friends and we're still having a conversation, right?
Yeah.
And I think that will be the way. And it's going to take people from different points of view to come together and actually talk, to hear each other, to try and understand where each other is coming from, to heal this, because that is what it's about. It needs healing. There's a big divide, and unless it gets healed, and I see a lot of, quite frankly, irresponsible people on both sides, and how that looks on the left, we've talked about endlessly ad nauseum. On the right, that looks like people talking about how America should split and what we need is secession. I think that's crazy. I think that's deeply irresponsible, very dangerous, and people should stop talking about it, frankly.
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, like, I follow both echo chambers, the sort of radical echo chambers on either side. Half of it is just for my own entertainment, because you never know what's going to come out. Like Lynn Wood going on about QAnon and stuff like that. It's amusing, like to watch. But then you realize this guy's got millions of followers, and he really believes this. And then all his followers, a lot of them really believe this, and they've got to the point of demonizing the opposition, that the opposition had got to the point of demonizing them. And so I'm very, very concerned. I mean, I don't think that 4 years of Biden is going to fix anything. I think it's just going to exacerbate the problem.
Of course not.
Yeah, of course, right. But this is the thing. So when it came down to like, right, well, we're gonna confirm Biden today, and then they're gonna swear him in on the 20th or whatever. It's like, I mean, like, you are living in a fantasy world if you think that Biden is going to be a president with 50% of the country thinking that he stole the election. Whether you think the election was stolen or not, it doesn't matter. It's the perception in their minds. If they think it, they're going to act on it. And it's that, like Francis was saying, the narratives that people hold in their minds dictate all of their actions. And so it's like, there's no way of moving forward, in my opinion, until the Democrats come to the table on the legitimate issues the Republicans have raised and actually sit down and in a detailed manner and an open manner address the points that have been made. And I'm happy for the Democrats to say, well, we want that same right from the Republicans. I agree. If you guys have got some problem with X, Y, or Z, then the Republicans are duty bound to sit down with you and listen to your concerns, to bring everything back together. But I just can't see it happening. I just can't see Biden doing anything of the sort.